Okay, so the redirector, so this is actually working here. So remember how I was running the command with other multiple commands? It wouldn't work that way, but I'll show you how the redirector works here. Okay, so let me officially show you how the redirector is working. So let me clear the screen. And for example, if the system is generating any errors, right? So I'm just typing junk and it gave me the error, this error here. That means this command is not found. So what you do is 0. So what will happen is sometimes you will be doing some big search here, and the command in there, it will give you more than few lines in here. So what you want to do is you don't want to see that, but you want to send it to the send it to a junk place that is not being checked here. So what you do is you do this and do 2 greater than, and then you send it to dev null. So on the screen you're not going to see anything. The dev null is built in Linux. What it does, it will clear up. Even if you send a legitimate command in here, you're not going to see on the display here. So this is something reserved to filter out errors. This is so you shouldn't as the class progress, we'll see how those things are going to work. Okay, so let me check one other thing here. Yeah, okay, so you send it to dev null, or you could send it to the file too. Let me see, what do we have here? Cat file 2. Yeah, so you could send it to the file 2 here too. So this is working actually. Okay, so this will catch only errors and redirects to the file. You can also redirect here. Okay, so we did cat, and then we went into quick edit mode and add lines. We did grep. Grep is working. Pipe is working. So you have a primary command, secondary command, and the third command in there. Okay, and the cat. Most of the time, the cat command is to read the file. That's what you normally use. And we did word count. So I explained that head, tail, more, less. Okay, so we did that. And okay, so now what I'm going to talk about is a sort. So what sort does is it sorts the file alphabetically. So let me clear this. I'm going to do cat file 3. So let's see, cat file 4. Okay. So let me clear this here. I'm going to create a new file, cat file 5. And in there, I'm going to put in something that starts with alphabetically. Okay, so apple, banana, pear. Okay, so what else I should do is orange. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is also I'm going to put numbers here. 2, 4, 8, 9, 0, 9. I type zebra. Okay, and cat. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this file here. So what is the sort command is going to do is it's going to rearrange the output alphabetically. So I'm do sort file 5 and hit enter. So it rearranges using the apparently it goes use the numbers first, then the letters, I suppose. And what else you could do is if you want to do it using the numbers, you do sort -n and file 5. So what is this happening here is over here it's doing using the numbers. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E is going to use is going to place the numbers. So number 1 is going to be A, B, all the way to number 26 is going to be zebra. Okay, and after that, then it will do alphabetically here 2, 4, 6, 9. Okay. So the next command is unique, UNIQ. So what it's going to do is it's going to remove the lines which are repeating. So it's going to pull up only the lines which is unique. Okay. So let me see here. Let me clear file. I'm going to write over file 5. Okay, and then I'm okay, now clear cat file 5. So if I do 1 greater than sign, I'm writing to the file here, okay, because I'm using a redirector. Okay, hit enter. I'm going to
Sorry
type.
to interrupt.
I'm sorry.
So like when we were typing all of those apple, banana, and numbers, how do I get back to that command line?
Control C.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to type apple couple times. Berry. Okay, and then a strawberry. Pineapple. Pineapple. Okay, and let me throw in mango. Uh-oh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Control C. And I'm going to do cat file 5. So we have all this here, right? So I don't want to see any repeating lines. So what I'll do is I'll do unique, and then I'm going to do file 5. So what it's going to do is it's going to filter out the repeating lines. Okay, so there are many ways you can use it, but this is one of them.
Question for you, sir. When I did the cat file 5, for some reason the Apple still showed two times on mine. It didn't filter it out.
Now use unique.
Oh, unique file. Okay, okay,
Yeah, cat, you're just reading it.
okay, okay. Much better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you will be the reason all this is gonna be is it sounds silly here, all this little file here, but you'll be working with the log files which has multiple entries many times. So you know how this will be working, okay? All right. So let me clear this. The next command is date. If you type date and hit enter, it will tell you the date, and it's giving you the date, it's giving you the time. So my system is set up for Eastern location and year 2020. So I don't have to explain this too much. So let's date. Okay, and the next one is calendar. CAL. It will bring you up today's date, the month of calendar. Whatever month you are in, it will bring that calendar up. Okay, if you type, you could do cal. So let's see when the Linux came out. Linux came out cal 12 1969. So you see the calendar going from 1969. And if you want to go like year 1, and this is the year 1, or you want to go into 1200, you get the idea. Okay, so this is what it is, calendar. Okay, and let me clear the screen. Uptime. When you type uptime, what is happening here is it will display the uptime of the system here. The system is, this is the time. This is the current time, and the system has been up since 29 minutes, and it says there are 2 users logged in. Okay, and then it says load average and all that. So we'll talk about that a little later, but uptime is usually, you type uptime, and if you're troubleshooting and you want to see how long the system is up, you could see the uptime in here. Okay, so when you go into the work situation, usually the uptime on most of the system here is usually 2000 days, 3000 days. The system usually get they don't get rebooted very often. Even if you do system updates doesn't require reboot in Linux. So let me give you an example. Okay, by the way, I put up the assignment here. I'll show you how you connect. I think I already showed you once where the system is. Okay, so I don't have internet here. So here's the assessment. and you launch putty and type in the IP address, copy the IP address here, and paste it in here, and you will get a login. Oh, I don't have an internet here, so give me 1 second. So I log in here and I do my password. Okay, I clear this and you do uptime. Okay, actually this will tell you the days in there. The system is up for 36 days. But the assignment part, the assignment is sitting in the temporary folder. And if you do ls here, there is a assignment 1. Okay, and let me see what assignment is calling. So I have about 18 questions in there now. So for each question, create a file and name it like Q1, Q2, all the way to 18 here, okay? And then it says what is your present working directory. Go ahead and put that in there. And these are all self-explanatory. And if you get stuck, you could search online or you could talk to everybody else in the group and see if they could help. So it's
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm totally lost. Like, how do you even get there? Like,
Yeah, I showed you okay. Here's the website. This is a course website. You go in here, right? And you click in there. I put a new link in there, assessment. When you click in there, you get the IP address. And whoever gave me your first name, I created their ID and then the password. You have to side chat me. I think few people already are logged in. And so no,
I'm sorry. So when I copy that IP address and I
yeah,
hit enter.
copy that IP address and bring up putty like this, okay, and paste it in there.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
71. Yeah, go ahead and do it now. So let me bring up the yeah, guys. I mean, you have to have your. I mean, if you have to revolve around all this place, this website I put it up there. That is where you're gonna get all the information, documents, and everything here. So put in IP address 71.57.95.5.
And then
And then this time, if you want, you could save it. Like here, I have already saved it as assessment here, right? You could save it, and then after that, then you click open. It will ask you to log in. So for you, who is this, Adil or Burhan?
yeah, that's me.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Adil, yeah, that's Adil. Sorry. And then session. I give it a name like assessment. You said
No, did you side chat me for the password?
I sent you a message, and I think you did give me. Let me see. You. Yeah, you said first name and then a login,
Yeah.
whatever password. Yeah.
And I sent you a message as well, but I haven't received a reply for my password either.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
by side chatting you mean like give you a private message like in
Yeah. Side chat
okay.
me, and then I'll give you the password. Then you log in. It will ask you to change the password on the first login.
And then under the save session I put down like whatever name I want to give it.
Yeah. Give whatever name you want to give it. It's like connecting to local system here. I mean, this is actually a real world connection you're connecting to. So far you were connecting locally, right? To this box here. You were connecting
Right.
locally in
Yeah.
here, right? Now you're connecting on the internet.
Okay. So now I click on the assessment and then open, and it opens another window.
Yeah. Say yes when you get the
Is
message there.
it? I'll say yes. Okay. And then I put the password that you gave me.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
put in your
again.
login here, probably your first name, and then make sure it's going to be like anything else. So password is not going to show when you type,
Okay.
or the
So
cursor is not going to move either.
okay, I think I am in.
Okay, you're in, right? So now, so actually the next command would be who. When you type who, you could see who's logged in here, and you could see the IP address and all this information here. With Linux, a lot of things are monitored here. So I could see Adil is logged in, and this is your IP address, and
Right.
that's your internet provider. I think SBC Global. SBC
Yeah.
still exists. I didn't know that.
SBC.
So this is your public IP address, and this is my public IP address, and this is how you see who's logged in here. Okay. So the who command is
So only you and I are logged in.
yes, and I'm logged in twice. So it shows you I'm logged in twice.
Hmm.
I'm logged in twice, which makes sense here because I'm logged in two different sessions here. I'm logged in here in this putty and another putty here
And why does it say 3 users?
because I'm logged in twice. I have two different windows open here. This is one
Okay.
and this is two.
Okay. And then what command to get that little homework kind of thing that you were telling us to do?
Yeah. So here in the instructions is saying you have to go into the temporary folder, temp slash assignment, right? So you go to cd slash tmp and you ls the assignment file is there. Okay. So if you want to see the content of the file, you do cat assignment and you hit enter. You have about 18 questions in there. Okay. So take your time. There is no rush. Hopefully, you got like 2-3 weeks. You could work off on it. Okay.
So
And
when I type cat assignment, it says no such file or directory.
what folder are you in?
Temp.
Do pwd.
Was there something else that I was supposed to type after assignment? I typed cat assignment.
Yeah, but here's the thing here. You may not be typing it. Just do tab key. Okay. Tab. Type as and then type
Oh,
tab key and
there's
then it
zero
will auto
one.
con.
Yeah, there's 01 that I didn't type. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you, get in a habit of using the tab key. Tab key,
Okay.
what it does, it will auto fill it for you.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Hopefully, you should be able to do it. So I'm gonna close this out here. Yeah, let me just minimize it. So if you are at work, you could connect from work and everything. I think you should be able to connect from anywhere. I have that.
Oh,
Yeah, can you go on mute, please? Okay, I have to put you on mute. So, and now the next command is last, L-A-S-T. So what it's going to do is it's going to display the login and reboot activity. If I type last in here, so there is some good amount of record here. So let me clear this. Last. So what is happening here is it's telling you when the system and who logged in at what time. So let me bring that thing here. So if I type last here and I hit enter, so I could see the activity as far as September 3rd here. I mean, this activity stays there forever. I mean, you cannot delete it, but I'll show you later on. But most of the time what you do is when you're troubleshooting, you use the last command and see the activity which is going on here. So it will tell you the person who logged in, and then it's telling you the session, the IP address, and date and time. And okay, so it's telling you it's still logged in. Okay, and over here it will give you the time, and it will tell you how long that person was logged in. And so root. So also you could come back here and see when was the system rebooted last time. So it tells you no. Oh, okay. Root. Where is reboot? Okay, so here we have the reboot activity here. You see when was the system rebooted here. Okay, so it gives you the system information, and it says system boot. That means system was not rebooted, it was booted up. And this is the kernel information. We'll talk about that a little later. And date and time. And this was done for 43 hours, and this 43 plus this many hours. 43 plus 20. What the? Okay, anyway, so you want to know if there is an activity going on, you could come here and see what happened last time, okay, and who logged in. Okay, so if root is logged in, but we're going to learn later on, this is what's going to happen here. When you go in, you won't have direct access to root password right away. You have to log in as a regular user. That would be your ID. Then you will switch to root. I'll show you later on how those things are working, okay? But for now, this information is enough here that this command is telling us is showing us who's logged in last time and the activity, reboot activity.
Brother Zafar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting access denied for login. This is Faisal.
Where are you logged in?
The assessment the server.
Okay. Did you give me your name when I asked you
Yeah.
last week?
Yes, I did give.
What's your name?
Faizul, Faizul.
Okay, I didn't put your name in here.
It's there all the way up.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. You're coming from the other class. So
Yes.
use the whatever the password you already had.
Old password.
Yeah.
No, the password you just sent me. I tried with that.
No, use the old one.
I don't remember. I took old password before.
Okay, let me reset it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna set the password I sent you. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
All right. So, what was the password I sent you? Hold on. Okay, so you should be able to connect now.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Let me try.
So the last command, I'm gonna copy this from here.
Yeah, I logged in now. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so let me clear the screen. So the next command, if you want to see how much system RAM you have, you type free -h. Okay, it will tell you how much system RAM you have on your system. So usually I have 1 gig here. Usually you should see the system RAM about 24 GB or more. And the swap space, it will be about 10 GB. We'll talk about swap a little bit later. And swap is a virtual memory. We'll talk about that in detail. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so the next command is du. Du stands for disk usage. Okay. So we want to know the disk usage of a file. So if you do ls-l, we see file 5 is, or file 4 is 221, right? So if you do du -h file 4, so what do you see here is you're seeing the file size is a 4K, and the disk usage, the actual disk usage is 4K, and the actual file size is only 2K. LH. So this is in kilobytes here, guys. So it's using only 221 kilobytes, while at the same time it's the file size itself is 4K here. So why is such a difference here? So we'll talk about that. Okay, now the top command, you hit top and hit enter. Okay, so what is happening here is top is the same thing as on your Windows system. If you do task manager on your Windows system, you go ahead and click on performance, you see this activity going on, and this is the same activity which is on the Linux system here. So there is a lot more detail here I'll go through when we are doing the troubleshooting class, but some detail I'll show you now. Top, it will displays the dynamic information. Dynamic means current information. So let me type real time information about the system. Okay, and most of the time I use it for CPU, memory, and the processes. Okay, so in here, so let me copy this here. So the top command is showing you information, how long the system is up for, is showing you how many users are logged in. Okay, and then the load average, this information, and the task. There are total of 99 things are running in the background here. Okay, and then out of that 2 are really running, 97 are sleeping. Okay, and when you're troubleshooting, you got to look for zombie task here. Sometimes they will suck up a lot of RAM information here, so you got to watch out for that. Okay, we'll do that in the troubleshooting when we're gonna do. Okay, and oh god. So here is the CPU. Let's see here. Yeah, I'll come back to you this in a troubleshooting step here. So we'll keep this here as highlighted. And then the memory. It's the same information as the memory here. And then the kilobytes of the swap. Okay, so most of the time when I come in here, what I'll see is it will show you which processes are running or taking up space here. So if the system is running slow, it will tell you here that right now the CPU percentage is like 0.03. But if it's going to be close to 100, anything over 70, then it's a big problem. So you have to look for it. And this is the process ID. This is the process ID associated with that, whatever that process is. Okay, so you see all these processes have, how am I going to show this? So everybody understands, right? When the system reboots or system starts, there are a lot of things running in the background. Everybody agree with me on that? I mean, those things are running, you may or may not know, okay? Those are some of the essential things which are running in the background. Of that, you have to zero in on the ones which are sucking up the resources, okay? We'll actually come back to this when we do the troubleshooting. If you want to get out of the top, just push Q and you will get out of the top command. Okay, and the next command is which. Before that, let me clear this. You type lscpu. What it will do is it will give you the information about the CPUs you have in the system. So we have here the architecture, the CPU modes. The CPU could be 32 or 64. And I mean, these are some of the information that I have. Usually it's beyond my skill set. I mean, you don't need to know everything about the CPU, but here's the thing here. Most of the time I come in here, I want to take a look how many CPUs the system has. So this one has only one CPU. Okay, let me see the assignment server, how much assignment server has. The system will log you off after so much time, okay? So you have to be ready for that. Okay, so this system has two CPUs. The one local I have is one, and this one has two CPUs, okay? And onlines are both are online, 0 and 1. And these are the cores and all this. It tells you genuine Intel family. It's a Xeon processor. And it's running the hypervisor, which is KVM, kernel virtual machine. So the only information usually I'm interested is in this here. I want to see how many CPUs the system has. Okay, so let's move forward. I'm going to clear. And then there is a command called which, WHICH. And when you type this, what you will do is you want to find out if a command is installed or if an application is installed. What you do is you type which. And I'm going to type tree. Remember, we installed tree command. I'm going to type and hit enter tree. And if I get this message like this, that means the tree command is installed. I want to see if the Firefox is installed on the system. I will type which Firefox. And I'll hit enter. So what the system is doing is going in and searching through these known libraries or known folders that a application or that command would be installed here. So it's going in there and searching, and it says it didn't find anything. So if you usually get a message like this, that means whatever you're looking for is not installed in the system. So this one is installed, and if you get a message like this, that means it's not installed. Okay, and what is next? Okay, the next command is zip. We all need to zip the file or folder sooner or later here, okay? So how are we going to zip the file? There is a command built in, it's called zip file or gzip. Okay, everybody heard about zipping the file, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So in the native command in here in Linux is gzip. So let's see here if we have if you do ls here, and I want to zip the file ls-l. Okay, I want to zip the file errors. So what I'm going to do is bytes. So I have a file name errors.log, right? So what I want to do is I want to zip it. So how do I zip it? The command is gzip error. You know what? Actually, you're gonna get confused later. I'm gonna do file 5. Okay, gzip file 5, and then I'll hit enter. So what happens is the file 5 is zipped, and it gives the extension .gzip. Okay, it's actually doing to the original file. It's not creating any other file here. So if I do ls-l, and what was the one before that? I thought it compresses the file here. Give me 1 second here. Four point zero. So actually what it's doing is it's actually compressing the file. So zips a file, zips and compresses. And it renames, it adds the extension with .gz. Okay, so so 4 kilobytes is okay. Okay, so now if you want to unzip it, what you do is, if you want to unzip the file, you use the command called gunzip, gunzip, and you give the name here and hit enter, and the file returns to its original form. Okay, so this is very easy. Zip and unzip is very easy with a Linux here. Okay, now how do you unzip the folder? Zip and unzip the folder. There is a different command for folders. Yeah, the zip doesn't work as well. So what you do is, if you have folder here, I'm going to do mkdir folder 1. Okay, and if you want to do the so let's see, ls-l, we have the folder 5 here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tar. Okay, so this is the command for zipping the folder or tarring the folder. I'm sorry. Usually we call it tar. When somebody sends you a tar file, that means they're sending you a folder. When somebody sends you a zip file, this what they're doing is they're sending you the a file, a single file. So tar command, you type tar hyphen cvf and then you type folder 1 dot tar. So here it's a little bit different here. So you have to give the name, what you want to name it, and the name of the folder you want to make it a tar ball. You hit enter and you do ls-l. We should have two files here. One is a folder, the original one, and the other one is the file here. This makes it into a file. Okay, now what you have to do is, if you want to compress it, then you do zip. So usually what this is good for is, this is good for moving the folders around. It saves the folder to a single file, and it does not compress the tar file, and it keeps the original folder and creates it as a new file. Okay, so what happened here is it created a new file, right? You see here it has new file in there. So why are we doing this here? So this makes it, this makes the this makes this makes copying or moving folder easy. Okay, how is it making it easy? Okay, So it's just making it into a file here, right? So what happens is if you are copying, suppose if you're copying the file from one system to another system, right? A folder, I'm sorry. So what is the system doing is it's sitting there and sending one file, file 2, file 3, file 4, is sending it that way. Okay, instead of sending the entire folder as a one chunk. So in that scenario, what happens is there is a possibility that the folder could get corrupted. So in this scenario, either or, if the folder is going to get transferred over there, or if it's not going to get transferred, because it's going to be only a single file. Okay, then you could use you know what, actually let me give you a good example here. So I'm going to remove the folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a folder mkdir folder 1, okay? And I'm going to go in that folder and then I'm going to say and then I'm going to do ls here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a big file from somewhere else, okay? cp var log messages, and if I put a period there, what is it going to say? What is period represents?
Current directory. Is that current directory?
Yeah, very good. Present working directory, actually. So my present working directory is, I'll cancel this. My present working directory is root/folder here. So I'm copying, this is a source, and present working directory is the destination, okay? Okay, look at this. I have a file which is 4.6 megabytes, okay? All right, so this will be some substantial here. So what I'm gonna do is so I have a big file on my hand here.
Okay. Question for you right quick before you proceed, sir.
Yeah.
I tried to copy the first time you put cp var/log message period control C, and it's mine return no such file or directory.
No, why you type Control C? Before that, yeah,
Okay, then
to read out exactly what you type.
cp/far/
Is there a space? Read out space too.
oh, there's no space.
Yeah, you have to have a space.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now it will work. Did it work?
I'm trying to type it in now.
Use the tab keys. I told you, use tab key, it will autofill it for you.
Okay.
So if you're trying to go for message, type it partially, MESS, something like that, and push a tab, it will autofill it for you.
Okay. Let me try to. Okay. So I put it in CP period message period, and let me see what you did next. LS. Okay. Let me try. And the only thing that it returned was messages. Yeah. Okay. It did. Right there. So LS.
You have messages in the present working directory, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're supposed to. And then I made like 5 copies in there.
Oh, so you made five. Okay. I didn't see where you made the five copies.
Right here.
Okay. Because mine didn't return. Mine just has one copy. That was it.
Yeah, no, after that I made 5 copies. Run this
Okay.
command cp, then space,
Okay.
then
Right. Okay.
messages, then give a
Okay.
space, then
Okay. I
give it a
see.
message too.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
So I'm gonna go a previous directory and I'm gonna do ls. The folder one is there. I do ls-ld folder. Okay, and ls hyphen. Okay, let's do du folder 1. Du hyphen h. Okay, so the size of the folder is 23 megabytes, right? So before that, let me copy these commands here. So now the du command, it says disk usage. What is the disk usage? The disk usage of the folder 1 is 23 megabytes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do tar folder 1 dot tar, and which folder I'm going to use? Folder 1. So the reason it's not doing is you have to give the CVH. CVF. So when we type verbose, it's showing you is showing you what it is copying and all that. I mean, what files is dealing with. F stands for 4, and I don't know what C stands for. So if you don't know what it is, so you go into tar, you go into man pages, man, and the name of the command. So let's see what C stands for. C stands for create new archive. V is verbose, verbosely list files processed, and F is force. Use archive file or device archive. I thought it was force. Okay, so maybe it's not force here, so we're not worried about it too much. So most of the time I've been using this for a while here. So this is all you need to do is tar CVF, and this is what you use with the folder here, okay? So now if we do ls-l actually, so now look at the difference here. Okay, this is folder here, right? But now this is sitting in here as a file now, as a single file, which is 24 megabytes. So this makes the copying or moving folder easy. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you how to zip it. You see gzip, and you do folder1.tar. ls-lh. Okay, so here's the thing. It's made it into a 1.3 megabytes. So let's do du folder asterisk. I'm sorry, du hyphen h. So what happened here is we had the file which we have the folder which is 23 megabits, and we converted it to a tar file, and from there we shrink it, and it's only 1.3 megabits here. I'm going to put you on mute here, a lot of disturbance. Okay, so now you see how this thing have evolved into, or you could save the disk space here. So instead of 23 megabytes, it's only 1.3 megabits. All right, so let me clear this. So the next command is stat. S-T-A-T. Okay, let's see what stat is for. Okay, you type stat and you type file1. Okay, so this is kind of important here. So clear. So when you run the stat, what it's going to give you is, it's going to give you the information regarding a file or a folder. Okay, so here's the file name. Here's the size, 21 kilobytes. And here's the blocks it's using. And one block is 4K. and then it's a regular file. And we see here device information here, right? What is device information? This is the location of the file on the hard drive itself. And then this is the inode, that means the fingerprint of the file. And link, it got one link. So every file and folder has at least one link. So everything is linked for itself. And these are the permissions, UID, GID. We're going to go into this when we do the system administration, okay? And this is the context. This is the SC Linux. I'm going to go over that. It doesn't make any sense here. And here is the access. When was the file last accessed? And when was the file last modified? And when was the file changed? Okay. So it gives you a good information about a single file here. So usually when you create a file here, it should have change information. Change is anything created or either created or modified here. This both should be same information here. And last time when it was accessed is going to give you the information when it was accessed. So if I do cat file 1 and if I do stat again, so what it did was it has updated the access information. When was the file accessed? Okay, so now this brings us to inode here, right? So inode, this is the number which is keeping all this information here. So this is an imaginary thing, but we will use inode. So what is inode? Inode, it is a table on the disk holding the file information. Okay, and also this information you're seeing here, it's called metadata. Okay, it's called metadata, and it gives you owner of the file, group of the file, okay, and the type of the file, if it's a file or a folder. It gives you permissions, and it gives you date and time of the file modified, accessed. And it has a number of links, and it gives you the size of the file. Block information. Okay, and so let's talk about the block information here. Okay, um, Okay, so we have a file here. We have the standard block. 4K is the standard block here, right? So let's see how this works out. I'm going to revisit this when we're going to do the LVM, Logical Volume Manager. So let me, give me 1 second here. Okay, so the block size is everybody know what bit, byte, and all that is, right? 1 bit is so everything starts with 0 and ends 0 to 7. That's equal 8 bits. Okay, yeah, this is a nice picture. So we have so what we have here is so one in here 1 bit is 1 bit is a bit. 1 bit is a bit, okay? And 8 bits is byte. Okay, now let's see here how this is working. So the hard drive standard block on the byte in the hard drive is it's not it's actually 4 bytes, 4 kilobytes actually. So how do I explain this? So the hard drive, if you look at the hard drive here, it's not a good. Okay, let's imagine each hard drive has thousands of bricks on it. Each brick is 8-bit. That means 1 byte. The smallest usable size is, if you want to store in information, if you want to store something in a room, it will be some size of a room, right? Like a container. You know how you have container? Like container here. Let me find a picture. Okay, look at this picture here. This picture is a container here, right? It's each container is a perfect size, and then if you, it's only one size here. I mean, if you want to use it, you have to fill it to the maximum. If not, then if you fill 2 containers halfway through, what will happen? You could have put everything in one container, but if you were using 2 containers, you end up using 2 spaces, right? So this is what is actually happening here. Okay, so what we have here is we have 4096, a number, right? The block size is, each block is the size of this container here. Okay, 4096 is, how do we get at 4096? So this is 1 and this is 8. Okay, and then the 1000 of this is kilobits, kilobytes actually is how much? 1024 is called 1 kilobyte, KB, and the maximum it's using is 4 KBs, right? 4 KB is gonna how much? 4096 bytes. If you do 1024 times 4, you will get at 4096 bytes. This is the smallest container you could get here. So it's 4 kilobytes. So let's do the math here. So if a file is okay, so if the file size is, and then the disk space used. Okay, so if the size of the file is 0, how much disk is going to use? The minimum? Anybody? So if the size of a file is 0, how much is going to use? Somebody has an answer.
1 bit.
No. I mean, the minimum is 4 kilobytes. So minimum is 4 KB. So minimum usable is 4 KB, okay? If it's still 0, that means the file is there. The size is going to use the on the hard drive is going to suck up 4 kilobytes of space. If you have a room, right, and that room could hold 20 people, but if you put one person in there, it's one person is still using the whole room. Okay, now if the file size is 1 kilobit, still using 4 KB. 2 KB, still using 4 KB. Right, now what if it's using 6 KB? The file size is 6 KB. How many is going to use? Okay, 4 KB is going to use 4. Still 4. Now it's to the capacity here. All of a sudden now it's 2 KB. 6 KB. So how much is going to use?
8 KB.
8 KB. Very good. Now you see it's going in the multiples of 4 here. So how about 13 KB? What is 13 KB using it?
16.
16.
Oh, I said multiples of 4. What comes after 8? Multiple of 4?
32.
No, I mean, no.
16.
Okay, 4, 8,
12.
then what else?
12.
12, yeah. Multiples. You keep increasing 4 at a time. So if you have only 13 KB, it's using 4 kilobytes here. So it's using that much space there, okay? So this is how it works.
But how 13 KB will hold 12 kilobytes?
No,
Shouldn't-
yeah, you're right. 13 KB will use actually 16.
16.
So if you do okay, so what else I have here is so you do ls-lh file 1. So it's using 21. So how much is 21 going to use?
$24.
Okay, 24. 21 is going to use 24 kilobyte. Okay, so we're going to come back here when we do the disk management, because all this will be important, how you're going to do the disk management here. And let me see. Usage for kilobyte. No, that here. Okay, so we talked about this and we talked about inodes. The block information, date and time, size of the file, block, date and time. Okay, so the next command is find. You're going to use the find command every day, day in and day out. It will come handy all the time. Find is simply finding something on the in the system here. Okay, so what is find command? I'll show you. So now let's use find command. I'm going to do find and I'm going to give the name hyphen name and I'm going to do file1. Okay, so it has found a file that names file1 in this location here. Okay, what else I could do is I could use inode before that. If you want to find out a inode of a file, inode ls hyphen I and the file name, it gives you the inode of the file. This is the inode of the file. ls-I, it gives you the inode information. Okay, let me clear this and find command. So what it does, it finds the files in the specified directory. You can use absolute or relative path. And then you can use name or inode number. So I have ls here. I'm going to find file 1 here, right? So usually I'm going to find file 1 in the root. That means I'm checking the entire operating system and I'm going to do file 1. Now I have to give the name. Hyphen n means name. File 1. So what it's going to do is it's going to go through the entire freaking operating system and then it will try to bring that to you. Uh-oh. What is the error message here? What is the problem? I typed the wrong command. So what it did was it it actually went pretty fast. It went through the entire operating system and then I located the file 1 here. And now we're gonna find using inode. So what you have to do is you have to give inum file 1, and then you have to give the inode number. Okay, this is the inode number for this file here. So it found it. So using the I number is specific. It's going to go through the inode number is going to be like a fingerprint. If two people have the same name like me, Zafar, but you're doing the search using the fingerprint, then it's going to find only me. Okay, so let's take a look how that works. So in here, I'm in the folder 1. I'm gonna create a file 1, touch file 1. Okay, file 1 here and file 1 anywhere else is the same thing, right? If I do the file 1 search with the file name, it should find 2 files. There you go. Now if I do with exact inode number, it will find only 1 file because it's looking with the fingerprint.
Is it a common practice to find files with inum?
Yeah, it is. You will be using this a day in and day out a lot. Okay, so now we're gonna push into another category out here. We're gonna use the VI editor. Okay, it's very important. You guys have to know how to use and edit the files. It's called VI editor. So far we know we've been using cat how to quickly edit a file and all that. That is not exactly you've been using it going forward. Cat is there, it's quick and easy to use it, but you have to use the VI editor here. Oh. So everybody follow along. Clear. Remove everything in your folder rf-rf asterisk and take everything out. Okay, let's work on VI editor. So before that, what is VI editor? So VI is a text editor. Okay, and originally created with Unix. Okay, so this is very old. Probably as old as a Unix operating system. Okay. And what do you use?
I got a question.
Yeah.
So accidentally I typed vi space editor clear, and then it says all the way at the bottom, it says insert, and I can't get out of it. I try to hit
Control
Q,
C.
Control C.
Oh, you are inside the editor. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So, well, here remember how we did like shift control, shift colon and Q. It's only for you. And hit
Colon.
enter. You should quit.
Not an editor command.
Okay, you know what? Before that, push escape key and do shift and colon.
Shift and colon. And then Q.
Yeah, and a Q. Yeah.
It says E37 no write since last change. Add exclamation to override.
Okay, push escape key on the keyboard
Okay.
and hold on to letter U on the keyboard for like 3 or 4 seconds. So
Hold
everything.
on to letter Q.
Yeah, no U. U as in umbrella.
Okay.
So anything in your screen should be gone. Now do.
I don't know. At the bottom it says recording.
Alright, it's not recording. Okay, so believe me. Okay, now do escape colon Q and see what happens.
Okay.
You out of it?
Not really. No.
Okay, hold on. Give me your team viewer.
Okay. Hold on. Let me open it up. The 469 184 188. Password 7x du 75.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, you don't have to be in full screen here. You could do this. Okay, do shift colon and then push Q as in queen. Enter. I got disconnected, so let me try again.
Oh, but it worked.
It worked now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right. Thank you.
All right, so yeah, I think I confused you. So the configuration. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with this. On the screen, type vi file1 and hit enter. So what it did here is it created a file here, right? Don't do anything here. I'm just typing the notes here. So on the editor, just don't do anything. It opens the editor with specified file name. Okay, and if the file doesn't exist, it will create one. So right now you are into the command mode. Okay, so the moment you enter the VI editor, you will enter VI editor in command mode. Okay, because you're not actually editing right now, because you're gonna use commands. Okay, on the keyboard, everybody go ahead and push I as in India. Push letter I on the keyboard, it will say insert. Okay, so what it'll do is, insert mode is, it will put you into the push I, small I, not capital I. Capital and small, all this is gonna make sense, make a difference here. How you gonna use it? Okay, and then push escape. Everybody push escape key to get out of it. Push ESC. On the keyboard, ESC, right? Okay, if you push escape, you're out of it. You don't see insert on the bottom anymore. Okay, so go ahead and everybody put in one I, and then let's put some text in here. So I'm gonna say this is okay, and let me see what is the text I'm gonna put in. So I'm gonna start with number 1, and then I'm gonna do it like this. This is Linux. Okay, and this is Linux distro. And number 3, I'm gonna say Linux is everywhere. Number 4, owned by. So IBM borrowed Red Hat actually about 2 years ago or so. I don't think 2, maybe a year ago. And
Why is it giving me a letter when I try to type a number?
don't use the accounting keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Use the one on the
On the top.
yeah,
Okay.
because this is the simplest, cheapest text editor on the planet. Okay. And I'll type OEL and RHEL are both Linux. And I'm gonna say number 6 is this is line 6. Okay, and then number 7, I'm gonna put Unix is mother of Linux. Number 8, I'm gonna put down Mac is Linux. Nine, I'm gonna put down iOS, and Android is Linux. Okay. I'm just trying to fill 10 lines here. Okay. So, and now, um, you need to learn Linux. This is a fun class. Okay, push escape. So when you push escape, you are out of the you're out of the command mode. Okay. Now what you have to do is so you put some text and then you want to save this, right? The best easy way to do is Shift:X. Once you do this, it will save it for you. Shift+:X will just save and exit. Okay, so everybody go ahead and do that. So now you're back to file 1. If you do ls, the file 1 should be there. Now what else you could do is you could do cat file 1. It's the same thing. Cat is, it will display the content of the file. Okay, so now you could do CAD, right? Now you see how things are getting. You could see how things are getting together. Okay. So now let's go back into the file again. vi file 1. So we are in a command mode here, right? So there are a lot of things you could do here, okay? In the command mode. And actually I'll give you the list of all the commands. So the very first command is, if you want to copy okay. So when you are at the bottom here, when you say colon, shift colon, when the colon is displayed there, this is ready for the command. Okay, and then if you type X, Shift:X, this will save and exit. Okay, now when you type Shift:Q, this will do what? Quit. Quit. This will quit if you have not made any changes. So if you just type Q there, if you have not made any changes, you shouldn't have problem quitting it because you just went in there and read it. Okay, if you have made changes but you want to quit without making any saving changes, you have to add exclamation. Okay, so I'm gonna say insert. I'm gonna make a go on the second line. I'm gonna type 12 here, but I don't want to save changes here, right? I'm gonna just shift exclamation Q, lower Q, and hit enter. Oh, I'm sorry. Q and then followed by the exclamation, not by the exclamation and followed by Q. So when you hit enter, it should quit it. If you go back in there, you shouldn't see whatever you have added in there, okay? Quit without. Okay, and then so now the good way to move up and down the arrow key is how do I show this? If you push I, it goes into insert mode. Let me put that down. I, insert mode. All these are lower cases, guys. I know the word is auto correcting it, but you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so go ahead and push letter K on the keyboard. It will go up the line. K goes up the line, and then J goes down the line. K up, down, and then L moves to the right, and H moves to the left. L moves cursor one character to left. Okay, and then H moves cursor one character to right. Okay, now this is automatically capitalizing. Okay, and then K moves cursor one line up, and J moves cursor one line down. Okay, and O, wherever you are, push O on the keyboard. So what it does, it opens the new line and goes into insert mode below the cursor. Okay, go ahead and push escape. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do YY. Go up to line 5, line 3. Type YY real quick. It won't do anything, but what happened is when you type YY, it copied that line. So I'm going to come down here all the way on the bottom, and I'm going to do letter P. It will paste it for you, okay? YY copies the line here, okay? And if you want to copy like 2 lines, you want to copy like 3 lines, for example. You want to copy line 1, line 2, line 3. I'm going to copy, I'm going to push 3 and YY real fast. Down on the bottom it says 3 lines yanked. That means 3 lines copied. Then I'm going to use J to go all the way on the bottom, and I'm going to P. It will paste it for you. And if you do it P again, it will paste it again. So you could paste it as many times as you want until you quit. Okay, so you got the idea what this is all about. It's easy here. I mean, all you have to do is practice. Okay, so if you want to undo something, do U as an umbrella. It undo until you save it. You could go all the way back like 100 edits. You could go all the way back. It does undo. Okay, so it goes all the way back to whatever you do. You undo is good enough for you. Okay, and now if I do DD, I want to delete line 2. So if I do DD, line 2 is gone. Either you could do DD and do that, or you do DD and then go somewhere else and paste. It will do it as a function as delete and then function as paste. So you could paste it anywhere else, okay? So now if you want to, search within the document, what you have to do is you have to do shift colon and a slash. I'm going to type IBM and hit enter. So what will happen is the cursor will jump to that location. Let's see if we do it like 3 times here. Slash, you have to type slash, then let's type RHEL. So it jumps to the very first instance. If you hit enter again, it jumps to its second instance. Oh no, is it an enter or space? No, N. RHEL. And then I'm going to hit N. So it's going to go to jump to next. Wherever RHEL is there, is jumping there. I'm pushing letter N on the keyboard. Okay, so colon slash RHEL. So what happened is searches the pattern, okay? Cursor will jump to first instance. Then when you do -N or N, so N to jump between results. And if you want to search and replace something, okay? So I want to search everything that says Linux. Okay, and then I want to replace it with, so no, actually you have to, if you want to search and replace it, you have to do the percentage sign S as in Sam, and then I want to replace I want to replace Linux, and I want to replace it with what do I want to replace it with? I want to replace with uppercase Linux. Okay, so the moment I hit enter, what's gonna do is it's gonna search for everything which is all lowercase. It should skip this Linux here, the uppercase Linux here, and these two one. We have an instance of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 3 lowercase Linux. So let's see if it's gonna work. So it substituted 3 lines. So wherever the lower it matched the. So where did it replace here? It replaced here 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's about good. So it replaced in 3 different places. Okay. So if you do colon and then if you do up and down arrow key, you could go between the commands. Okay, so I'm gonna go escape again. And if I do W, file was written. So if you want to write, if you want to save and write, okay, if you want to save and write, you have to type W and quit. And hit enter. So that is the official way to do it. I use X. I use X to save and quit. Okay, there are a lot of others commands in here. So these are some of them. I'm going to copy and put in the whole list here. So if you have time, you could use it. But the ones I'm showing you here are the ones you should know. And then I'm going to put in here the other commands after the class. Okay, so let's move on. So next command we're going to learn is cut command. So what will happen is it cuts the fields. It cuts the fields or characters in a file. Okay, and then you have to use a delimiter. Okay. Okay, in Linux, what a delimiter means is something which is separating a field. Okay, it could be a semicolon, a colon, or usually a question mark, a period, or a space. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say cat file1. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do cut -d. I'm using a delimiter. And then what is the delimiter I'm using? I'm using a space. So you have to put a space between 2 quotes. And then I have to tell which field I am delimiting. Okay, this is field 1, and this is a space there, and this is field 2. This is field 3. This is field 4. I'm sorry, actually, this is field 1, and then this part is space here. So let's take a look how it works. You must specify a list of bytes, characters, or fields. Oh. So I'm going to say -F means field 1. Okay. And then I'm going to say field 1, and then I'm going to say file 1. So what it did was it cut the field 1 here. So what we're doing is we are doing it vertically. So if I do field 2, it brings me only field 2 here. Now, how is it determining what field starts and where field ends is because we have given a space in the middle. So we are telling wherever the field space is there, that is what the field is. So I want field 1 and I want field 3, okay? Comma field 3. I think only you have to do 3. F stands for field. So it brought me from here. It brought me field 3 here. Are you guys seeing it? Cat file 1. And then I'm going to run this cut command field 1 and field 3. So for the system, field 1 is this is field 1 from top to bottom. And this is field 2, top to bottom. Wherever the space is in the middle, a new field starts. And then this is field 3. This is field 4. And if you have a lot more here, this is field 4, this is field 5, this is field 6, field 7. So let me get field 7 here. So it's going to get whichever one has only field. Field 5. There you go. This is going to come handy. You don't see the potential here now, but in future you should see this. So actually before that, I'm gonna have to do this here, and how many I have? 5 fields here, right? 5. Okay, so I'm gonna insert about 5 fields. So first one is cut, second one -D, and then I have this here, and -F1 space 3, and then file 1, right? So what is the cut? Cut is the command. And when we are saying -D, that means we are providing a delimiter. Okay.
Motion detected at your back door.
And the actual delimiter itself. And these are the fields. And this is file name. Okay, so this will come handy later on here. So let me clear this. Let me show you one more example. I'm going to quickly go into VI file 2. And then I'm going to have something like column 1. column 1 semicolon column 2, and then I'm going to have a semicolon column 3. Okay, here's the YY action, YY command in action. I just copy it and paste it, save and exit. I do cat file 1, 2, and I have this here. So now I'm going to use the cut command here, okay? So I'm telling cut, hey cut, use this file to cut it out and give me the output, okay? So what I'm going to do is cut, and then you have to tell, okay, what is the delimiter? The common delimiter is semicolon. So you have to do colon, semicolon, and then I'm going to give field, which field you want. Very first column 1 is field 1. I want only field 2 and file 2. So it gave me field 2. Over here, what I could do is I want field 1 and 3. So it gives you field 1 and 3 here. See, it cuts you field 1 and 3 and gives you the output. Okay, here's a trick. What is this going to do? Anybody? Let me move up the screen here. So what is this going to do?
This will cut from the file 2 and put it in file 3.
Very good. And if the file doesn't exist, it will create one for you. And the file 2 will be there. File 2 will be there as is. And file 3 is the result what you want here. Now you see how you can manipulate all this here, okay? Normally you'll be doing to the thousands of lines. It will be done in no time actually. Okay, good. So you must be wondering, this is just so silly. Where is the computing? Okay, you must be wondering, where is actually the computing is happening? Okay, it's coming. All these things are like files and folders and black screen here. You would wonder, hey, nothing is happening here, but it's coming. Okay. Now, how much time we got? Okay, we got a good half hour. So the next command I'm going to put it in here is awk awk. Okay, don't ask me what it is. Keep forgetting what it is. All right, let's take a look here what awk is. Yeah, I don't have internet here. awk is actually a language in itself. What does it stands for? Okay, I'm not worried about it, but I'll tell you what I use for is so I have file 2, right? File 2. Okay, and if I do cut, this here, see what it's doing is it still have that semicolon in the middle here. So I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do awk, which is a built-in command. I'm going to do -f, stands for the field, okay? And where do you want to, then you have to give the delimiter. I'm providing a semicolon as a delimiter. And now this is the formula that goes with it. There is no way you could escape this here. So this is the print $1, that means field 1, and then I'm going to say field 3. Okay, $3, and then what I'm awking file 2, right? So here, look at this. What awk did was it eliminated this from the output here. So it just gives you a clean output. Let's see what it's going to do for file 1. Okay, file 1 doesn't have semicolon, it has space in there. So we gave space in there and it gave us the output. Most of the times the files are not going to be clean. Most of the times the file you'll be dealing with will be like this. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so what does the $sign symbols do after you typed out print?
Yeah. Okay, so let me explain this. What is $? So this command, what is happening here is how many fields I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the very first is awk and -f. Okay, and the one has okay, you got to understand there is a space there, okay, and then this is the formula actually, it goes with it. So this is how it's designed. Print, you have $1, right? $1, I'll explain you in a second. Then you have $3, $3, and file 1, right? So what is this? Awk is just a command, and -f is the fields. What are the fields you wanted? You have to use -f and delimiter. So in this case, the delimiter is a space. And this one, $1 and $3 are the columns of the fields here, okay? These are the columns it's telling you, $1, $3. If you put $2 here, it will bring a column 2. file 2, right? There you go. Well, no, it didn't have, you have to give the correct delimiter. So you have to give semicolon here because this file is using a delimiter semicolon here. So this part here is the field 1, field 2, field 3. So you kind of have to eyeball which field this is, and based on that you could do it. Or you could do field 2 and then you could have field 1 here. So that's how it's going to print also. So you gave field 2, so it's printing field 2 first, and then field 1 is printing field 1 second. Does it explain? Did it make any sense?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Okay, and now what else we have is we have an execute command. So actually let me go ahead and get this here. Okay, so now what we have is an execute command. It works only with the find command, okay? So what find command has, execute command is, you could find something at the same time you could have it used as a second command, okay? So this command works with find command. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the command. So what I'm going to do is cd find. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this command. I'm going to find file 1. So I'm going to type find. I'm going to find file 1 in root. Start looking for the file from the root. Hyphen name means name of the file. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to execute this. Find the file at the same time execute. I'm going to say exec. What do you want to execute? I want to copy that file here. This is the command. Okay, and this is the format. So in here it's going to fill, this part here is going to fill the result of the find command. Okay, and then I wanted to copy that file to /tmp. Okay, and then I'm going to close the command. So this part is the execute command actually. This is execute and copy the result of this file. The result of the find, it will come in here, right? It will become the source. And in here, copy source and copy it to temp folder, and this is how you close the execute. Execute opens with this and ends with this. Okay, there is no way around it, but it's very sweet command. Okay, a lot of people like it. So it says find file. Oh, I have to give file 1, right? Okay, it says find file name, copy. Temporary file are already the same here. So what happened was that the find command still was running in there. Okay, let me run that command again. So what happened is the find command has already found it, executed it, and the command was still running it. So it did find this find. It did find it twice. Why did it find it twice? Because it already had. It is actually running like in circle. It already had did this and ran this, and it has continued on looking for file 1 here. Okay. So that's what it is. Since we are searching in the root, it's going to give you that message. That's normal. So if you go into cd/temp, the file should be there. Now you could get creative here. In here, you could put whatever you want. And then, you know, I mean, sky's the limit here. But this is normally how you use this. So actually, let me just give you a demo here. So very first part we used is execute, and the second one is CP. Okay, and this is the syntax. Okay, and the destination, and the syntax. Okay, so execute is a command, so copy is a command too, and this is syntax, destination, and syntax. So this is going to come in handy when we're going to do scripting. Okay. All right. Now my favorite command is alias. What does alias do? So with the alias, what you could do is you could create your own command. Create a shortcut. For the command you are using. This is usually good if you have multiple commands. Okay, so what is the command I'm using? I'm using pwd, right? I have this command pwd. I'm using it all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say alias, and then I'm going to say zwd, okay, equals, and then I'm going to give the name of the command. I'll hit enter. So next time, if I type zwd, it will run the command pwd. See? It's silly. So if you put something like this in scripting, yeah, people are gonna go crazy. But this is how you do alias. And if you want to see all the aliases in the system, you type just alias and hit enter. Okay, so actually egrep, fgrep, grep, ls hyphen dot, and all these are aliases of these commands. Okay, and we see our zwd here. Okay, so if you want to remove alias, what you have to do is unalias zwd. All right, the alias is gone. If you type alias again, the alias is gone. So I'm going to show you what exactly I use the alias for. Okay, and you could actually unalias all the commands in there. Okay, so let's have some fun here. So I'm going to clear this. I'm going to create a command named alias, and then I'm going to use it my daily commands. So I'm going to say my basic command. Okay, I'm going to say equal sign, and then I'm going to put like bunch of commands in here. So every time I come into the system, I want to get some information about the system. Okay, so very first thing I want is uptime, and then I want to see who is logged in. I want to see free, the memory. Okay, and then what I want to see is free, uptime, who is logged in, and then what else? Oh, come on, guys, give me examples. Okay, and then I want to see what is today's date, and then I want to see a calendar. So you have all this in here, right? So you type this in here and hit enter, and if you type alias, you see your my basic is there. So if I type my basic, what's going to happen is it's going to run those commands for you. There you go. It ran those commands for you. If you want, you could make it nice and add some echo in there. They will make it nice and clear output for you. Okay, so all the commands are ran. So first one is uptime. So this is uptime, and this is who, and this is memory information, and this is today's date, and this is a calendar. Okay, now the sky is the limit here. You could put hundreds of things in there and make it run it for you. Okay, so I'll show you. We'll discuss this more in the scripting. Okay, so I'm gonna say here, So when you type alias, you could see that. And you get the output. So when you run this command, you get the output. Okay, and let's talk about dev null. So what is dev null? I already talked about this dev null, but this is the official. I'm going to show you. This is considered a device. Okay, this is usually used for filtering filtering out the errors. Okay, it is built in blank space. Not same as a recycle bin. So anything sent here will not be retrieved. Okay, so I'm going to type basic, and then I'm going to type I'm going to type something like this. So down at the bottom, I'm getting an error message here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this: 2 greater than sign dev null. So the error message that I got on the bottom is gone now. It will be filtered out, and it will usually send it to that place. Okay, and so okay, I think I'm going to end here. Tomorrow we'll have some more commands, soft link. We're going to start on those, and then the directory structure. Okay, so I'm stopping here. Soon as